I don't know where to start. I don't know where Lily wants me to begin and tell you guys this journey, because I can't really tell you guys 11 years in a whole 3-minute conversation. But what I can tell you is it was the worst and best day of my life, that day of their accident. I would have never believed in a million years that my family's life would be flipped upside down. And for them to tell me my sister's never going to walk, and my other sister's in a coma, and they don't know if she'll, what her prognosis is or anything like that. They didn't have anything to say to us. It was a big journey and a huge adjustment. We lost friends, we gained friends. People that we thought that, you know, we can fall back on weren't there for us, and then people that we least expected were there for us. It was a huge transition. I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy. But I don't know how I would see my life today with them not being on wheelchairs, because we've adapted so much to it that everything revolves around it. And I had no idea. I didn't know anything. No, nothing. I'm like, okay, so they can't feel bad. I didn't understand the depths of, you know, of everything, their daily life routines. Even as far from going to the bathroom and cathing or having a BM schedule or any of that, it was like, what? I couldn't fathom the idea that somebody couldn't feel. Okay, you can't feel your legs, but what do you mean you can't feel, go to the bathroom? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean you're on a schedule? But you learn, and you learn the, you know, sometimes I'll tell Lily, you're dysreflexive. She's like, no, I'm not. And I'm like, well, yeah, you are. And you kind of just learn, and knowledge is power.
Hi everyone, I'm Ashley. I'm Kelly and Lily's sister, and I'm Kelly's twin. 11 years ago, my family was in a car accident and I was in it as well. I could say it was really hard on me because since I was in my accident, I had always a guilty conscience of why my sister ended up the way they were, and it didn't happen to me. I had to speak to many psychologists and psychiatrists to help me cope in certain situations. 11 years ago, I didn't know the extent of their injuries. I didn't understand what was going on. I thought, alright, it's a boo-boo. They're gonna heal in a week or in a month, and everything's gonna be okay, and everything's gonna go back to normal, but it didn't happen. That it's 11 years later, I have to say it's easier than what it was when I was 10, especially now that I know what's going on and their extent of their injuries, and I understand how to cope and to adjust more in life with 2 girls in a wheelchair. And especially it helped me with my family. My family was a big part of me adjusting. It inspired me to become a better person, especially knowing the fact that I shouldn't ever take life for granted, because you never know what will happen. You will never know, because in a blink of an eye, something could just happen and your whole life could change. Our lives changed, but we learned to adjust. We learned to appreciate life more and always be better in life and always accept and respect one another.
I remember you in the beginning. You gave up on life. You gave up on everything, I think. And then I moved to Israel. And when I came back from Israel, I saw something else. I saw a girl filled up with life, that has a smile that lights up a room. And I don't care if the reason that you light up the room is because you're on a chair or not, but you light up that room the second you walk in. And today, when I want to explain to people how to look at life and appreciate what you have, you're my first example that when I lose it, when I feel like everything's collapsing on me in life, which happens a lot, all I need to do is either look at you, talk to you, or just sit down and remember you. That's all I need to do. You are one of the most strongest girls I've ever met in my life, and you're growing to be one of the strongest women that I've ever seen in my life. Your family's changed my life. Your sister's changed my life. But I'm so happy to have you in my life as one of my close friends. I will have you as one of my close friends for the rest of my life, because I don't want to live without you.
I know Lily and Kelly from when they were babies. There's not much difference. She's really the same person. She doesn't have that bitch of a big mouth anymore. She is smart, she's beautiful, she's intelligent. She does everything and everything like everyone else. She just does it differently because she's sitting. The rest of us have to walk and break our legs. I remember wheeling her around in the beginning and sitting on her lap and making her take me for rides. And I remember carrying her and both falling down and laughing our heads off in the middle of the street because it was funny. We didn't make it like it was some kind of serious, like, oh my God, end of the world situation. Yes, it was a life-changing accident. Granted, it was not, there's nothing joking about this, but it happened. And that day they started living. They grew up. They just do everything. They do everything and anything, and it's amazing. It's amazing how strong they are and how much they've accomplished and how much they do. The girl drives. I have 2 legs and I can't drive straight. She drives. She goes to school. She goes to college. She changes herself. She lifts herself up and down, and she's just amazing. She's like, oh, Lily, you know, role model.
Hi, my name is Danielle, and I'm friends with the SCI family. They're practically like my sisters, these girls. You know, we grew up years in this situation. Unfortunately, after the accident, they were both bound to wheelchairs. And you know, a lot of times we go out and people look at them differently or will treat them differently, but they really are the same. You know, we do the same things. We go out, we have a good time, and people just don't understand how, you know, sometimes you have to cope with a certain situation, and that's what life is, and you have to accept it. They're the same exact people, and you know, people shouldn't treat them any differently. They're my push girls. I love them.
Whether it is aping me or it isn't, knowing you, being very, very honest right now, made me now believe that people in wheelchairs can really do anything, and I'm not trying to be sappy. You really do everything that I can do and probably even better. And it's very inspiring, and that's why I love you so much. And you really can't sing.
Worth the shit.
And you shouldn't.
Ever.
If you love us.
Since you love us.
And the no filter part is awesome, because that's why you're Lily. And
hopefully you won't sing.
That's about it, really. It changed me for the better.
How it was in the beginning. It was really weird. I've never known anyone who was in a wheelchair before. I didn't really know how to respond, how to act, even though Maggie prepared me a little bit. She told me like, oh, my sister's in a wheelchair, blah, 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 don't be whatever, just be normal. But I wasn't. I was like scared, I guess. As time progressed, I realized that, personally, I realized how cool and amazing they were. And just really just like anybody else, absolutely no different than Maggie, than Ashley, than anybody in the world. I see them like, I saw them as time was passing, my feelings of fear started turning into feelings of love and protection. Professionally, it's changed me a whole lot. I could say professionally, it's had the most impact on me. So in the beginning, I worked with students that had learning disabilities, and then progressively, as time passed on, I worked with people with all kinds of disabilities. Knowing them has literally made my career so much better, so much more fruitful. I'm able to now talk to people and engage with them, and the rapport is easily established. I'm able to joke with them, and everybody like loves it because I don't treat anyone any differently. I'll make the wheelchair jokes because of Lily, and I did that with the mayor, Mayor Victor Calise, who's the mayor of New York City for Office of Disability Services. I cracked one joke after another. It was like awesome, and he looked at me. He's like, "Wow, really like you. Nobody ever has the guts to say these things to me." I'm like, you know what? That's because of these two over here, you know. So that was really cool. I've also become much more of a strong advocate because of them. I want to make sure that students with disabilities get the kind of services that that law that they're required to get. So I'll fight like hell. And I feel like I'm more connected to disabilities than I ever was, even though I myself do not have a disability. It's like I have sisters that have them. That's professionally how it affected me. I think that they inspire me now to want to do more. They are probably the most happy people I've ever seen, more than the regular person on the street who is fully able.
I don't have all the answers. I still see someone, which there's nothing wrong with. I joined a group filled with amazing women whom I learn from every time we meet. But if I can take something from these last 11 years, is that I've got great support from both family and friends. And with that support, it just helps you realize in a way that life goes on. There's so much out there where it's not worth sitting home and being miserable about. I'm not going to sugarcoat and say this life is all cotton candy and sweet and easy. It's not. But when is life easy? It really isn't. So don't make excuses for yourself. There shouldn't be any. And here's to the next 11 years, I guess. Hopefully I find that special someone, get married, children, and think about what I want to do in those next 11 years.